So I just drained and held this thing up to get about 2 gallons of gas out of it. And I just poured it into this. Look how much dirt and mud and filth is in the tank. That's just the residue. That's not even what's in there. That thing, the whole bottom of that is dirt. I don't know how all that dirt got in that tank, but look at the petcock right here. You see that hole is just completely filled with now solid dirt mixed with gas and has ruined this valve. This valve will not turn anymore now. You can turn this in complete circles, it won't do anything. This inside is now not connected to this anymore because this had solidified with dirt and gas. Man, that's sad, dude. I ain't gotta buy this over again, you know? Well, now it looks like we're gonna be doing a petcock job. So to get the petcock out, you wanna first watch the video where we take the tank off, and then you're gonna go ahead and take these 2 bolts out. They look like a 10, but there's a Phillips in here. 1, 2. This should slide, a little bit. You gotta pop this headpiece off here. Pop this off because it doesn't go through the plastic, and then this will slide right out. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew these 2, pull this out, and then show you what it looks like. All right, guys, I just got the new fuel valve petcock in, and I'm ready to put it in. We got the tank down on the workshop table in my office here, and there's the problem. So I didn't want to fix this tank because it was just solid rust. Rust came out of it with all the, when I emptied it of all the gas was separated. We had to do a carburetor rebuild kit, and this thing was totally melted. All of this plastic and all of this brass was rotten all the way down to this thing was just flat. Neither of these 2 poles were here. So the customer, instead of buying a new tank and having to paint it or whatever, thought that, he would just go and put the acid in and mix it up and then do like stage B, the clearing, and then stage C, the mix. But now I'm going to show you what happened. And now I have to go back and refix the tank and then make sure none of the little particles get in the tank, because then it's my fault if it doesn't work as the mechanic. So let me turn the camera around and show you what I have to deal with, so you don't have to deal with this. If you have to deal with this, you must make sure to wipe off all of the openings so they don't solidify. Let me show you why it doesn't work now. So you can see the buildup, the crust, right? You see it on the end of the bolt here. There's some hanging off there already. And that's not even in the tank. Like that thing that's hanging off right there, that'll stuff your carburetor up right there. You pay $500-600 to get your carburetor rebuilt, all new parts, put it back together. You did the tank wrong. Now those 2 little hairs and that little crap right there, I know that the tank wasn't done correctly to save money. And I hate that because I really like this guy and I really like this bike. But you can't half-ass on this stuff. Look. Oh, see? They just fell in now. Now they're gone. Now they're in here and they're going to be mixing up with the tank. So what am I supposed to do? Shake this thing 10,000 times to try to get those little pieces out? Stick water in it and try to flush it out and then wait 3 days for it to dry? I can't do that. Now I got to turn the tank upside down and try to chisel those pieces off. Because look, now when we put this piece in here, watch. The bolts don't line up. This one's off a little bit and that one's perfect. Why? Because this buildup right here. I can't get it, that 1 millimeter of buildup. You see all the gray stuff, all this gray stuff right here, all this stuff that looks like it's shredded metal. I have to pick all that off now with this pick and try to get it to fall down. And this on the outside right here, this has to be flat. Now I have to sand this because it's not going to get a seal. You're telling me this one little rubber gasket that has to be completely flat is going to be flat with this lump of this tank fix? Oh wow, look how much of it's right there. Look at all that. So, oh, some just fell into the tank again. I really wish he wouldn't use this. I really wish he wouldn't use this tank. I don't know what his obsession is. This is the first tank that came with the bike with this special repaint on it, I guess. I mean, I still have my first bike of 20 years. So I'm going to scrape this out. You guys don't need to see that. It's just a petcock video. But if your petcock is rotten, all this is rotten off, and it's melted down in here, and you got to change the tank and do this, I want you to know that when you do this and it dries out and it drips out down here, you got to get a cloth and keep wiping these clean. Should have put 2 bolts in here. You know, and then you could have just backed the bolts out and that stuff wouldn't have been on the threads. And you could have put like some tape on this, you know, or just wipe it off the side and then put some tape on it. So you can't, or wipe it down or something, but ugh, that's more work for me. All right, there we go. So after 45 minutes of picking the hole clean upside down and trying to clear out all the stuff so it'll fit, it looks way better. But now there's loose pieces in here that we're going to have to be fighting. Hopefully those will be picked up by the new fuel filter I'm going to install. So then I had to sand this down for a while to get all that extra off because it bonds pretty tight to make this flat again. And then we had to tap these 2 8mm out. I used my tap and die set to screw them in because it was all over the threads. And if I put the screw down in there, it could ruin the threads in the tank. Then the tank is ruined. Or ruin the threads on, you know, it might be just a one time and you pull it out and then it ruins it. So it took me an hour to go get the tap kit, both of these out, scrape all this out upside down, and then sand this down, and then keep trying to refit this. Well, finally we're done. It go right in now. You see we're not having any more problems where we couldn't get it to go in and out before. And let's see. Let's see if we are perfectly lined up now. We are perfectly lined up for the 2 holes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 screws in now. Now I think these are 10s, but you can put them with the Phillips. I would put them in with the Phillips and then tighten them with the 10 just to make sure, because this is gas, you don't want it to come out. And then I'm going to have to go and grab the little piece of plastic that I saved from the old one, since no switch came with this one. How are you going to turn the tank on and off? The head is pretty beat up on the other one, but it will work, you know, to save us a couple bucks. So now that's it for the petcock. I'm going to go ahead and slap the top in together. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Done. And that's it. All right, so we have the 10mm nuts torqued down to 20 here. But check in your manual, because if you're not doing this exact same bike, then yours might be a smaller screw. I saw some that have 6-inch screws, and they are only doing like 8. Where this is a 10mm and it's 20. Now you're gonna take this thing. Now you don't really know where this is on and off, so you just kind of gotta guess. So we're gonna go with off is off is off, right? And then on and reserve. Oh, okay, so it was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We're just gonna squeeze that on pretty tight. And that's it. We're ready to go. Petcock's in, cleaned up. You probably didn't have to do that cleanup, but if you did, you know how to get around it now. Take the petcock out if just the petcock is seized up and it's not that bad. If you have no rust, skip that whole section. Go straight to this. I would sand it anyway right there and wipe it off to get a really clear connection so there's no old grommet or old O-ring or anything on there still. And then just put this piece on and you're ready to go and get your fuel tank on. Now, every time you put a petcock on or need to, you needed to for a reason. Make sure when you connect this line back up that you take off the inline filter and change that for a new one. Because that filter probably cost $3, but you know there was a problem here. You would rather get it caught in that filter than go down and get in that carburetor. You know what I mean? So make sure that you do that. So guys, if you like these type of videos, if you like learning about motorcycles, if you want to race a motorcycle, if you want to ride a motorcycle, if you want to work on motorcycles, this is the channel for you. I'm telling you, I'm going to start getting a little energized. We're going to start doing all of this stuff. We're going to be cleaning these carburetors. I'm building this, basically, I'm restoring this bike that's 25 years old. But after this bike is done, we're going to start working on our fire blade to get ready for the track season this coming year. And we're going to be building a 954 from scratch. Every single part is taken apart, except the engine. But that doesn't have a head. But make sure to like and share, subscribe. Let's get some work done.